All right, welcome to Flat Day. So today we've got a jam-packed 4 hours for you guys. So first thing we want to cover is we're going to do a 100K roundtable. So I know the 100K is the new Black Inside Plats now. So I haven't even nominated who's going to be on the roundtable. But basically, if you made a 100K offer and you sold it, you're going to be on the roundtable. Just going to be able to pick your brain and allow the opportunity for all of our plats to pick your brain as well on getting clear on how you made the offer, what was the offer, what's the deliverables, all that kind of stuff, deposit, that kind of stuff there too, because our goal is to have every single person in Platts sell a 100K offer in the next 100 days. Would that be like a really cool goal for everyone here? Like 100K, like every single person. That'll be sick. And if you're the last one, then, well, there has to be a last. So, that means you're a really honorable person, you're really selfless, and you just didn't want to go first and just waiting for everyone to go first. So that's the goal. And then we're going to do a really cool mastermind session. And then we got Jane speaking. I got Phyllis coming on as well later on as well. So Jane has been sitting on all of your challenges, or if she hasn't yet, one of the Platt privileges is that Jane will sit in on your challenge and give you real-time feedback on your challenge. And then she sits on, like, she's got this weird fetish where she just loves challenges more than me and Pedro, I guess. And so she just sits on so many other people's challenges, and she's got like what's new, what's best, what's working right now, little hacks, practices, all that kind of stuff to help you get better in your challenges. And then later on, we've got Phyllis jumping on to talk about what your next high could look like and how to see that and how to help how to have a VA or EA help you grow your business too. Sounds like a pretty cool day for everyone here. Yeah. All right, give it up for you guys. Let's go. Jumping in as well because secretly she's like the next in line or one of the next in line to join us in Platts. And so, Darlene, if you're feeling a little bit out of place, then that means you're in the right place. That's how you want to consistently feel, and that's going to make you grow too. So please participate as if you're a Platt today, because you're here because we believe that you deserve to be here. So that being said, 100K offers. So I guess maybe I wish Phyllis was here. Like, Phyllis is not here yet, because I wanted her to tell you the story, because I've told you the story from my version of events.
Hang on. Like, when you make wishes, you know who just jumped into the weight room? Like, you literally said, no one else is going to believe me. But it was like, I literally wish like Phyllis was here, and then all of a sudden, boom, who's in the waiting room? Yeah, it's a real thing.
All right, yes, because you guys have heard my version of events of how the first 100K offer I guess manifested. I can't believe I'm using the word manifested, but it did manifest. But Phyllis was there the whole time, like Huawei saw me do my 30-minute presentation or whatever it was, and then at the end of it, like Myron's, I didn't even ask a question about my ascension model. I just asked a question about how to improve our webinar numbers, and then suddenly Myron's like, what's your ascension model? I said, we're at a 1K, 25K. He's like, where's your 100K? And it suddenly became a whole coaching session around why I needed 100K off. And I'm like, it's not even what I came here for. And then we had dinner, and then I say, Phyllis, do you want to tell the story? And then, because that night, literally, messaged Kaylee and boom, closed the 100K off the next morning, and it was celebrated in the whole group and stuff like that. So I want to hear what you perceived the whole thing from start to finish was, Phyllis. And then we'll go into a 100K roundtable, because we got about 4 P1s who've sold a 100K offer now since then. And so I think it's going to be super valuable. So Phyllis, if you want to unmute yourself, welcome to Platt Day.
Hey, welcome. Good morning, everyone. It was such a magical moment, to be honest. Everything was kind of planned, it was a much smaller mastermind group, which we're really glad that we were there for. And it just happened that Myron was, on one side of the table, and Richmond was right across, from me. And then Russell just came in and said, hey, can I sit here? We're like, yeah, absolutely, right? You can definitely sit here with us, right? And then Colette was there too. So it was a phenomenal, group of people that were just hanging out. And then, and all of a sudden, and I think at that moment, Richmond also have the feeling like, well, I mean, did I do enough? Like I'm sharing with you this, you know, this tiny little challenge, paid tiny challenge. Did you guys really get much out of it, right? And then that's when mine was like, yeah, I love it, and I have a yacht that I'm not using. I have about 70,000, hours that's left. So because of you, I'm gonna make a $40,000 offer, and then he just kind of go off on his anyway offer. That's what he called it. Anyway offer. I'm going to be on the yacht anyway, so might as well make some money out of it anyway. And he just kind of go into a rant on, what he does. And then right after that, he's like, Richmond, do you have a 100K offer? Richmond's like, no, I don't have a 100K offer. I have all these things. And, and I mean, for me, it's like, man, Richmond is really successful, right? And he has also like, $1 million day, twice $1 million day during that time when we talk about it. So, and then Myron's like, no, you have to have $100,000 offer. Like, what would that be? And then at that moment, it's also crazy because Myron has a $350,000 offer and $1 million offer, and both of the students was sitting right next to us too. So they're like, yeah, of course, Richmond, like you need to have $100,000 offer. He's like, and then I can see Richmond brain is going. He's like, I don't know what to offer. I don't know, what it is. But getting to know Richmond is like, if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna do it, right? Like, hey, I need to start last time Russell said you need to do a book. So on the way home, he wrote a book, right? The previous time is like, okay, you need to have an affiliate offer. So Richmond does that, right? So I always see the magical moment that is happening, and like the defining moment, that's what Bo Eason was talking about. And yeah, and then there's just some disbelief right there, and then this is when Myron's like, okay, come closer, sit down with me, right? And then he pull out his cash. Remember, he pull out his cash and he said, okay, I'm gonna give you this $100 if you can give me $10, right? And then Richmond's like, well, I don't have $10. I only have Australian money. I have like $20. And then we all get really nervous because like you only have 60 seconds. I was like, what are we gonna do? And I was like, borrow money, borrow money. Oh, anybody have the money? Anybody have the money? And then I was even saying, Myron, can I borrow $10 from you? He's like, no, it doesn't work like that. You have to ask for somebody else. So eventually, the 60-second went over, and Richmond didn't get the $10. See, you lost the opportunity. You lost the opportunity of getting the $100. And this is obviously one of his signature talk, right? Like, if I give you $10, if you give me $10, I will give you $100. Would you do it? Yes, right. If I, so then, same thing, right? If you give me $100, and I'll give you $1,000, would you do it? Right? If you give me $1,000, I'll give you $10,000, would you do it? Right? So, go on and on. And I think that's when something shifted in Richmond, I would say, right? And then throughout the whole dinner time, he was just thinking, right? He's really thinking, and he's really wanted to fulfill that challenge, I said. But everybody else see this awesome belief in Richmond that, hey, you must have $100,000. This is definitely something that you have to go to, right? And I do believe that. I mean, sign up whatever that Richmond have offered, right? Because within a year he's gonna have a $1 million offer. And then we're like, oh man, how are we gonna sign up with this $1 million offer? So anyway, so then during that time he said, oh, I think I got it. And then he pulled out his phone, right? And then he texts Kaylee and say, hey, I have a $100,000 offer for you. And I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, again, it was late, right? I think Kaylee at that moment have responded back. Am I right, Richmond?
Yeah, right away.
Right. And yeah, and then I just literally see the messaging going over. I said, what is it? And then right after that, Kaylee just said, yeah, I am in. And then after that, Richmond just showing everybody, he's like, hey, like we got the $100,000 offer. And I was like, man, this is so magical, so crazy, so phenomenal. And this is the reason why I love Richmond so much. And I couldn't believe it myself. But there we go. That is the story of the $100,000 offer. And then next thing we know, right, a week or 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, I'm just signing up the second $100,000 offer without me pitching about it, right? So, so that's a story, Richmond. What am I missing? And it's always so cool to be with you, on the event, so that we can see, how much you grow into it, and Just like what you say, if everybody do what you do, everybody will be successful. But unfortunately, not everybody is like you. That's why you're Richmond. Yay.
Appreciate you, Phyllis. You said it. You said it so well. That game, like how games really expose your I guess I don't know true behavior, but unconscious behaviors, and unconscious limiting beliefs. And that game really exposed a lot of things for me. And after when I lost that game, and I don't like losing, I regard myself as not super competitive, but pretty competitive, and it got to me. And that's when Phyllis says, I was rattled. I was like, I kept on thinking the whole night, and I'm glad I lost that game because I said to Myron the next day, I said, Myron, like, it's probably a good thing that I didn't win that game, right? And he's like, 100%. I'm glad you lost it because you got the lesson you needed, and that's why you started the 100K off. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, that game was designed for me to lose. And I was like, wow, if I had won, I would have not got the lesson, and I don't think I would have pitched it. So losing that game was the best thing that ever happened, and also being in the room as well. Yeah, I mean, it was a sick table. You couldn't have picked a better table to be on, like, and you can imagine the people sitting next to Myron who bought the 350K offer and $1 million offer. What game are they playing? Like, these guys are heavy hitters. So appreciate you, Phyllis. Thank you for that story. Guys, give it up for Phyllis. Thank you for that. It really means a lot. So, as your half imposters kicking in, trust me, I know how you feel. Geez, I felt that on that table that night, big time. So, you're not alone in that feeling. I just want to do a quick round table. So we got Kenny, Sim, who else did the 100K? Kenny, Sim, Kaylee. Who else? I think I've got one. Do we have one more? Oh yeah, Christy. Yes. I thought we had four. Yeah. Okay, let's get them all spotlighted. Welcome to the first Plat 100K offer round table. Oh my gosh, this is going to be sick. So, and I didn't ask Christy or Kenny or Sim or Kaylee about being on this round table. It's literally off the cuff right now. But it's more Q&A, so there's not really much they could prepare for anyway. So I've got a few questions because I'm literally really curious, and then I'm sure you guys have some questions as well. So let's start with we got one more. Let's go. So first of all, give it up for the awesome foursome right now. All right, so the first question I might want to ask is probably a belief question, because I think obviously the belief comes first, the action comes second, and so let's start with that. Like, when you first heard about it, what was going through your mind? What limiting beliefs were coming up, and how did you switch that belief to go, okay, I'm just going to do it, kind of thing? So might start with Kaylee because you were kind of the first one, and I kind of half know your beliefs, but you just followed blindly. So let's start with that, Kaylee.
Thank you. I still don't know exactly what I'm getting from the 100K, so it's pretty cool. I trust you, Richmond. You say yes, you say jump, I say how high, right? So I just go, okay, let's just do it. I mean, you always been delivering. What can I lose, right? So I go, yeah, let's just do it. But then after that, I'm like, 100K, my husband's gonna kill me, so I better do something. So I started to message Christine because Christine, we kind of work closely together. We've been talking like every day about business and stuff. So I keep her updated about what's happening with me. And then Christine's like having a little FOMO session to go, oh, Kaylee, you're gonna grow so big. And then please make sure that you take me along with you as you continue to grow. I go, sure, I'll take you. It's just $100,000. She's like, what? She said, yeah, would you like to pay the deposit today? And she's like, let me talk to my husband. And then a few hours later, she's like, take me on. And the moment Richmond charged me the deposit, I go, okay, your deposit's due. And then she paid her deposit. So that's my first 100K offer, and sold and done within 24 hours of me paying Richmond.
That's so good. And then, because that was a 10K deposit, and then I took another 15, like the week later, and then you're like, all right, well, I'll take another 15 from Christine too, then, or something like that. Is that right?
Yes, so I'm just following Richmond's path. Like, success leaves clues. Whatever happens, you just follow, and she just paid a second deposit. And the coolest thing, I don't know if anyone knows, because Christine also had the same panic moment. She's like, okay, oh my goodness, like my husband's going to kill me. And then she, within 24 hours, also sold her first 100K offer to to a client and
That
took the
is
deposit as
crazy.
well.
What was going through your mind, Kaylee? Did you think, oh my gosh, what if I don't fulfill it? What am I going to do? Or did you back yourself? Like, what was actually the dialogue in your mind?
Uh, I don't know. I'm sure you'll figure it out how it works, and I'm sure I'll figure out how it works. So whatever you're gonna do, I'm just gonna do the same, and we're all gonna get the outcome.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just to give you guys an insight, when I pitched it to Kaylee, I wasn't fully clear of what it was until even now. Like, it's not fully clear, but it's pretty clear. It's basically to teach her the skill that I believe I'm the best at, which is networking up the social ladder. And I'm going to bring her along to events and expose her to my circle and show her exactly what I do, how I do it, where I do it, and how I end up invited to all these like crazy parties that I shouldn't be invited to. You know what I mean? So that skill is worth arguably 8 figures. That skill, because she'll have that skill for life, and so that's going to take her and Sarah on these trips and stuff. I'm going to do that. So that's kind of the thing, and then a few other things I want to chat about as well, about personal investments and how to build true wealth for yourself. That will really blow your mind on what most people don't think about when it comes to wealth creation. So that's kind of the deal. But that being said, I wasn't clear, but I backed myself, and I guess I share this because I backed myself. That I thought, you know what, like. I believe I'm a good person. If I charge someone 100 grand, I'll do everything it takes to make sure that they get a minimum 10 times ROI on it. I just don't know what that is right now, but I'll commit to making sure that they get the ROI on it, because inherently, I don't know, if you're a good person, you do that. You know what I mean? So, and I think maybe Kaylee, you partly believe that as well, even though you didn't know what it was, but you'll make sure they get an ROI on it. Cool. Let's jump to Sim, and then the floodgates open to Sim, and then Sim, what was going on in your mind? 100K offer.
I mean, I have a very woo-woo way of doing things, so mine is a little bit different. I saw obviously you pitching to Kaylee, and Kaylee saying yes, obviously in the plat. So I actually sat with it overnight. I did my normal sim thing, tuned in, and I actually got, like, I know this sounds weird, but I actually got a full blueprint of what to include. And and with that, like, yes, I have a very woo-woo of doing it. But with that, like the biggest, when it came to belief, I guess the thing that really landed after I got that download is how much business experience I have and how much wealth of knowledge that I have. I've been in business for 20 years. I've done BDM roles. I've had my franchises. I've done all my woo-woo stuff. So for me, the belief is just actually showing all that skill set. And going out there and making a difference, so it was really around backing the weird downloads that I get and making an offer, like literally making an offer when the client was in front of me, like, hey, this is the download I've got. This is either you're going to know whether this is for you or not. And straight away they said, yeah, that's for me. They could just feel it. And that's how the offer came down. And it was actually very, very similar for the second offer.
Wow.
So yeah.
What was the catalyst?
The catalyst is, I guess, one of the things that I realized that is one of my things that I do well but not well is if the pack is moving too far away, then I unconsciously just want to catch up. So from where I was sitting and the beliefs that I had to go to 100K, it was just an automatic trigger of like, oh, you're actually going to get left behind. And whatever that stretch is for me, it's like, actually, no, that's too far. And it just puts me into immediate action. So it was a beautiful lesson to recognize, hey, where is that next line for me? And where do I need to unconsciously trigger myself so I catch up to the pack?
Super cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, let's go over to Christy. Christy. So then And then the dominoes started falling, and then Christy just posted casually, "Oh my gosh, made my first 100K sign up." I'm like, "What?" So Christy, let's look about the belief side of things.
Yeah, well, I think one of my greatest assets is that I'm new to Platts, and I actually thought this was normal and I was behind. So I'm like, I actually didn't really think too much about it quietly. I just went, well, I had to have the belief I could do it first. But I believed it was just normal for a Platt to do this stuff. So I was like, I don't want to be the one that didn't do it. So I just went and did it. And I just trusted myself at such a level that I was selling heaven. Like I've got this heaven, I call it a heaven mindset, because in heaven, there's no pain, suffering, there's nothing, there's not even a body, there's no thoughts, there's no anything. So I originally had a thought, I'm going to sell heaven. And so with that belief, you've got to believe in heaven, that it exists, but not outside of ourselves. So when I had my client ask me, you know, he was in a state of suffering. And I just knew I had the answer because I've seen heaven. I've experienced it inside and out. And I said, if you were to pay me 100,000, what would you want for that? So the belief was, I already knew I own heaven and heaven's within me. And I was just going to sell it to him. But he didn't know I was selling heaven. I just was selling him no pain.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. I love the first thing you said about what you thought. I just thought it was normal. Actually, one of the side things that I love most about you, Christy, is you do and think later. Like that's so Christy Charlton. She just do and think later, which is an awesome mindset. Which is an awesome mindset, by the way. So I want to touch on what you believe is normal, and that's. I think that's a belief that's really served me as well, to be honest. Like, you know, at the start, Phyllis was saying, like, you know, like when Richmond gets told to do something, he just does it. Like, you know, when Russell prescribes this, or Pedro prescribes this, or Mario prescribes this, I just do it. But I really believe that that's what normal people do. Like that's my core belief. Is like, well, why wouldn't you do it? Like that's isn't that normal? Like isn't that normal?
Yeah.
So I think it really is helpful for everyone here to believe that it's normal. Like it's a really, even though it may not be true, and probably, you know what, it's probably not true because normal means that's what most people do, but that's not what most people do. So it's actually abnormal. But if you believe the abnormal is normal, you're going to get further ahead in life because to you it's normal and it's an expectation and you just do it. So very cool. All right, Kenny Lee, let's go over to Kenny.
Hi everyone. Hi Richmond. So excited for Platts Day. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. Really, really grateful. I have to be absolutely awesome, right? When everybody was doing 100K, my ego
I
and
love
my
how you said everybody, by the way, like a generalization.
subconsciously, I'm like everybody, right? And the ego and that need for significance immediately took over. And it was so invisible, right? I didn't even realize that it was overwhelming me and consuming me from the inside, right? I immediately went to it for the first time in Platts, in P1. So I actually messaged Platts and I'd really take this opportunity, right? Thank you. Thank you everyone who reached out. Thank you everyone who kind of slaps the reality out of me and also allow me to ground back to my heart. And because of that, right, I was very focused on win, win, win. It's a very easy, like kind of word, right? Like win, 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 right? Phrase. But I didn't really understand. And I want to take this opportunity, right? Phyllis, you're in the room as well. I really want to thank you, C, your husband. Because in one of the masterclass that I've attended, right, C mentioned this. In everything that he does, he wants everyone to grow personally, professionally, and financially. I understand that concept and I took it for my team and for my team of VAs, right? So I've been saying that, you know, when you come in to become Rossum, right, personally, professionally, financially. But it was something that was inspired and was doing all along, right? I was doing it with my team, but I wasn't doing it with my clients. And with the win-win-win concept, right, I was like, okay, I'm going to make this my own. And I actually had a very raw because end of the year, right? So we're having like year-end review, feedback, and everything to me, right? So I had people in my mind already, my like raving fans, clients. I actually went and asked them one question. So one of my top clients, right, I asked him, what is something, right, that you secretly desire, but you didn't really ask me? Or what's something that you secretly want, right, but don't have the courage, or we haven't really had this conversation? And he paused for a while, and later on, he actually said this: how are you able to always travel with your mom and Kim, my partner, right? And I know you keep on saying that you don't spend your own money. How are you gonna do? How do you do that? I was like, oh, I have this thing called my money pot, my passive income and everything, right? And this is the one that has been like scraping the money for me to fulfill all my like dream bucket. Then he said, I want that. I want that. And after having the conversation, I was like, oh my God, I found my win-win-win. My win-win is, how do you grow personally, professionally, and passive incomely? And that was my 100K offer.
All right, let's give it up for these guys first of all. Man, I wouldn't mind learning what your strategy is on that money pot, and who wants to know that? Like, geez, what's this passive income money pot thing that he's created? Ah, that sounds pretty awesome. All right, okay, so we kind of know Kaylee's offer, which is like, well, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll figure it out. Sim, what was your offer? Like, what can you tell us the details of the offer? What was the deposit? And yeah, just tell us more about the actual offer itself.
So the offer for me is the one thing that I noticed is, if my clients are going to be like me, what would I want as a win-win-win? And quite often for me, the win-win-win is sometimes just someone sitting me so I can bounce ideas, just being like, instead of getting in your head, bouncing ideas so we can have that 2mm shift and just keep moving, and just that person to just run to and be like, is this a dumb idea or a good idea, or what does this sound like? And so that's really the essential part of my offer. So it's 2 days in person every quarter to do a full business breakdown, to do a thinking day, to think outside of the square, to do like energetic breakthroughs and just see what's there, and actually just have that focus time to go into planning, and then in that quarter run away and implement it all. And also just on the end of the phone, okay, what do you think of this? Let's have a look at this. What's the idea here? I'm stuck here, I'm feeling like shit here, and I need an identity shift here. So there's a lot of deliverables, but the main component is doing my woo-woo stuff. So being like an oracle, so I actually can tune in and see what's going on energetically for them. And also from drawing on all my business experience of going through my BDM role and being like, this is a 2mm shift. These are the systems that we need in your business. This is where you're spending too much of your decision making on non-money making activities, and pulling that back into
right. So it's mainly around like a business ROI. Is it 12 months? Is it like
months.
one-on-one every week? Like, what's the kind of the cadence of touch points?
So it's whenever, whatever. It's really like it really is. You have me in your back pocket. So whether that is one-on-one every week or when they need it. So there's huge deliverables there. But it's also something that I really enjoy. I love getting into businesses and just looking from, if you think about one thing I'm passionate about, it, which is that automate your identity point of view. Part of that is, and I think in business, one of the big things that we do is we spend too much time on things and decisions that are actually not going to be decisions that are making us money. So if I can get visionaries back on their vision, then I get really excited. So yeah.
Right. Is there a promise or a guarantee or a work with you until you hit this kind of thing? Anything like that?
No, but I mean, I think one's probably got the ROI for half of the ROI already back, and the other one's very, very close with that as well. So,
well, I'm not surprised there's no guarantee, because a person that buys a 100K offer is not buying because of a guarantee. So I'm not surprised there wasn't one. That's why I was just curious to ask, and I would imagine, I don't think Kenny or Christy has one too. So, but because it's a different buyer, like you know, you don't ask for that. So, Christy, what's your? I think you explained to Platts what was your offer, but do you want to explain again because I think more people in the room. Yours was like a 5-year, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of made up on the spot. But yeah, there's definitely I found that the higher you go, the less structure there was, and then you actually get time as a permission because that person has a level of understanding and the trust is built already. So together we're working this out. I'm so upfront with things that I go, okay, truthfully, I've got no idea what the next 5 years is going to be, but we're going to do it together and we're going to win together. And the offer was really, he wanted to know my thinking on a daily basis because he noticed, and I said, well, in order to do that, you're just going to have to kind of be me a little bit. And in that moment, ask, it's kind of like asking a future question, an answer you want now in the future. But I was like, I have the answers in the moment. So it's technically like a,
So he's buying a 5-year best friend. Really? Like, is that kind of the
Here's what
situation?
So here's what it is. This is true story. Laugh. The wife.
Christy, could you repeat that? It just
Gonna
it just
get the
froze. It
best
just froze.
of-
That's a sick offer, like a best friend offer. Like let's be best friends for the next 5 years. It's
And-
20K a year for 5 years. That's sick. Because that's eighth wonder to the max.
Yeah, so I'm a little like, there's a bit of a thought belief there that it should have been more magical or more creative, but I was like, it's so simple. But he's like, there it is. And I have reworded the whole tax thing. So he's paying me in full on the 21st, and my accountant will sort the rest out. So I got rid of that belief the other day at the last
Trying to
class
save
call
tax.
because yeah, like I'm building like a money, like a financial literacy as I'm doing this, like the leaps and bounds, like the support from Shane, Simone, and you guys, like this is truly like you're really building a person as I go, and I'm adopting those beliefs and things for others, and people have seen it. So to trust blindly, I've already had the conversation with him going, all right, let's map out what this offer kind of really is. Like we're going to need some tangible results here and that sort of thing. And one of the things I've had to say was, you're going to have to trust me blindly. Like, because that's what I do. Like if Shane tells me to do something, I go and do it. And then I'm not going to ride a bulldoze, Shane. I'm not getting on that shit. So, although the fear would be incredible to get through, but I do have a level of trusting blindly. And I've also said to Simone and all her woo-woo shit, like that stuff's like another level. And, if she's, people, I use this metaphor with Simone. I said, I trust people so much because of the environment that I'm in, that if they say walk off the cliff with me, I do not question it. Because I know there's a purpose, because there's no ground to hit, because my belief, we only get higher. So when somebody tells me like you, Richmond and Simone and Shane, to do something, I actually harness the shit questioning I ask myself, and that's what I throw out. And I go, well, they're clearly asking me because they can see it, but I couldn't. So when I did this with my client, I shit myself in the beginning going, shit, that's $100,000. That's US too, by the way. And that flew me. But because I had the Australian mindset of 100K, I Googled it later and I'm like, it's like $152,000. Holy shit. Right. And I went, okay, so my character went, okay, just be me. Just be me. This is what they're buying. Don't turn into someone else. That belief in that character. So now I'm building an energetic blueprint where I literally just said, cut the crap. Like just if people just cut the crap out, which is what I feel I've done quite well, because death showed me what mattered and what didn't. And when death shows you what matters, practically next to nothing matters. So I'm literally helping him remove shit from his life that we're focused. So I'm technically like a focus magnet because
Very cool.
that's it. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure spending time with you for 5 years, like, I mean, that's, because I know that, like, with Kaylee and Sarah, like, I know Sarah lives in Sydney, but every time Kaylee's going to be in Sydney now, like, we'll organize a dinner catch up and we'll be like besties in the next 12 months for sure, you know what I mean? But we'll be traveling together a lot anyway, so we'll build a relationship there. And in case anyone's wondering on the 100K offer that I presented, I said, I was very clear with Myra, and I said, like, my limiting belief is, I just don't want to do any one-on-one. Like, I don't want to. It's so much of my time. It's like, how do you equate 100K offer to having to do one-on-one? I'm like, I'm not sure. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a 100K offer, but it's not unlimited one-on-one. It's not like that kind of offer. It has to be something where it's like if we travel together and we travel 15 hours to the US and 15 hours back, that's 30 hours, which is. And you do that twice a year, that's more than a one-on-one every single week, but it's better. It's way better. And then you hang out, we hang out in Las Vegas together, and then we're getting like 200 hours together, which is like more than they can ever get. So it's like 10 times more, but it's more efficient and it's just way better. So, all right, Kenny, what was your offer? Like 12 months? Is there a guarantee? Is there work with you? Like what's the deliverables?
Yep. 12 months, and I actually took the opportunity because I was having a lot of one-on-one with this client as well. So reducing it from every other week to just once a month. And I was mentioning about personal, professional, and passive income one. So the personal one is only like once a month. Professional, you'll be on a by request basis because he's managing a team at work, at the same time building on his coaching as well now. And the passive income one, of course, we'll be doing a weekly kind of catch up, like a strategy session. And I already have 2 more people that I have in mind to offer the 100K already. So eventually, I only want we are planning for the personal one just be one-on-one. Then the rest all to be mini group sessions. And my goal for 2025 is I have this, thank you, because of this as well, right? Rossum X. So my Platts is going to be Rossum X. And why X is because the Roman character X. And I'm in LGBTQ community, so it's about my chosen family. I'll be selecting my family. Yeah, so the identity I step into every single day is I'm Dr. Xavier from X-Men. A lot of my friends say, why do you want to be a handicap, right? But from young, right, I'm like, oh my God, Dr. Xavier is so cool, right? He's like, why do you want to be someone on a wheelchair? I'm like, he can read minds, like seriously. And I'm so grateful, right, with AI. I have so much data. Every single day when I'm chatting with them, right, I'm collecting data, I'm scraping off data, right? I'm just putting into this thing called Love GPT, my version of Cerebro. Every single day, I'm like looking, how can I add value? How can I love and support them even better? So this is my offer. I'm still co-creating this with them at the moment. So not everything is like super detailed right now. But I've modeled you, collected USD 100K deposit. I didn't know you collected 15K deposit. So Kaylee, thank you so much for that. I'm going to do that my next round so that I can actually put into their money pot as well. So yeah, this is what I have so far. Still creating. Thank you.
Very cool, very cool. Well, if you don't get your goal in Hurt Locker, you're going to be bold and you will look like Xavier. So you're going to can't believe you're going to shave your head. You're going to shave your head as a punishment. My gosh. That's so cool. That is so cool. Okay. And so in summary, it feels like there's been kind of three things on how they got the offer. So I'll show you how. So this is what I sent. This is the exact message I sent to Kaylee. Hey, Kaylee, I have a 100K offer for you. I'll tell you more when I get back. So I kept an open loop, kept kind of cheeky. And then, she signed up for it. And then this video here is from Myron, actually. Kaylee, I'm here with Myron.
Hey, Kaylee, how you doing? Proud of you, girl.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations on the 100K offer.
Yeah, congratulations on being the first.
The first.
Because here's what happens. People sell like they buy. And this 100K offer with Richmond, for you, is going to be your rite of passage to your 100K offer to your clients. I'm looking forward to hearing that story.
Yeah. So he's definitely got that story. So I messaged Kaylee, I have a 100K offer for you. I'll tell you more about it later. So kind of kept a cheeky open loop. It sounds like what Christy did was she just asked someone, if I was to create a 100K offer, what would you like to see in? Is that what you did, Christy? You just directly, so that was a different angle?
Yeah, so literally, I just said, if you were to pay me $100,000 US, what would you want for that?
Boom. And then Kenny was like, what did you say, Kenny? What do you secretly want from me that you haven't asked? Is that
What is secretly asked for me that you
what was
didn't
that
ask?
exact verbiage? Like, what do you
Yeah. What do you secretly want from me that you don't have the courage or you didn't ask?
Right.
Yeah.
And then Sim, was it like, was yours, how did you like, what was that initial conversation? Kaylee just literally copied my chat sequence to Christine and then she closed it. What was your initial opening to get that?
I was actually just on the one-on-one with them, and I'm not sure what we were talking about. It might have been part of delivery, and that's when I just shared there. So it was like,
What did you say? Like, I have a 100K offer for you. Would you like to hear it? Like, what was the?
no, because I actually, like, in truth, when and I know you roll your eyes and laugh at me, but when I get information down, like I'll get information and I actually genuinely don't know who it's for. Like I'll just be like, if you think about just getting an idea, like the 100K offer, for example, I get the idea, but I kind of let spirit guide me to who that's for. Like I'll present it to people and be like, this is what I'm sitting on. You'll know whether it's for you. And people kind of step into that. So that's all I did is talk about the download that I'd got around that 100K offer. And they said, yeah, that was for me.
Okay, got it. You're right. I'm laughing inside. Okay, well, basically what I'm getting, I just wanted something tangible for everyone here to like copy and paste, but I guess that it can't be copy and pasted.
Well, the tangibility is whether it's a download from spirit or whether it's an idea, it's trusting in the yes that's there. And one of the books that I've been reading is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. And she talks about, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just make the offer. And, whether it's a spirit download or whether you're pitching to someone, it's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and actually have that conversation. And I think that's the tangibility. Like if you have a 100K offer, then don't be afraid to give them the option that it could be them. Because quite often we make assumptions on who's going to buy and who's not going to buy. And so we don't offer. We try and find that one person that's going to be that person that we're going to sell to, versus for me, it's kind of like, well, let me just offer that to everyone. And this is like trusting in my heart of hearts that there is a yes out there. I don't know who it's from. Like I genuinely don't know who it's from. And one of the things that you said years ago, and I'm probably going to bastardize the way that you said it, but it was around like, don't be an arse and assume that people can or can't pay. And so that really stuck with me of being like, well, what's to say that someone can't get resourceful for that if they feel like it's a yes and that's valuable to them? It's not up to me to say what's the value of someone. It's to me to have that offering and put that out there. And if they choose to say yes, then they choose to say yes. So I guess that's the tangibility. If we want to build tangibility, that's how I'd probably build tangibility around that.
Got it. Very cool. All right. So everybody here, you guys got 3 like super tangible pathways whether you could cheekily message someone that has a very high know, like, and trust to you right now, and say, hey, I have a 100K offer for you. I'll tell you more about it later. Wink, kind of thing. Or you could just do what Christy did, or you could do what Kenny did, or you can download what Sim did. Right. So you got 4 ways. You got 4 ways to pitch a 100K offer right now. I think the highest and best use of our time right now is to spend the next 3.5 minutes on one song for all of you guys to think about a person and just go pick one of those ways and just go for it. And if 100K is too far of a stretch for you, then do 98. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be a half achiever, right? Just do 98. Cool. So we'll come back after a song. If you need to go to the bathroom. We'll literally, I would love everybody here just to at least put it out there. Just to put it out there. Cool. So we'll come back after a song.